I got to see what the fuck this is. I have to. Indulge me for a minute. I need a break from the genuinely grotesque stupidity of Dinesh and Debbie to just the relatively harmless panic dipshittery of Glenn Beck. Is that okay? Is that okay with everybody? Because this is, Glenn makes terrifying artificial intelligence prediction. What's terrifying? What's going to happen with, in the prediction, or the fact that Glenn makes predictions, I think is more terrifying, especially if you rely on them for anything. Here we go.
Let me talk to you a little bit about AI.
Okay, here we go. And if anybody knows what fake smarts is, artificial intelligence is, it's Glenn Beck.
Stu, you know how we always say,
wearing a shirt from Yale doesn't make you smart. You know how I always say that? You know how I say it? Wearing a Yale shirt is the idiot's way of appearing from, shit.
We should not ask the question that everybody's going to ask. We should ask, does it matter?
But if you did that, you wouldn't do a show every day. Glenn, that's a terrible question to ask. You just go, nope, pack it up. Nothing we have to say is actually going to matter one little bit. So, well, you know what, guys? Let's cut it today, and we'll kill it tomorrow.
Okay.
We always say that. I've never heard you say that before, but
I've got one. We've got to get ahead on the AI culture war thing.
The AI culture war thing, because that's the problem with AI. It's woke.
Okay. Because it's going to eat us alive before even the robots have a chance to.
Well, honest to God, I feel perfectly safe. Because it's going to be gnawing on the two of you for a very long time before it ever gets to little old me.
Slave us. But the future looks bright. Anyway, when you think of the development of artificial personalities.
Oh, like yours?
AI, your best friend or your AI girlfriend.
Your AI girlfriend. Your AI girlfriend.
These things are already here. They're right on the horizon of going mass. Snapchat is already doing it for your kids. So when all your friends are asleep, right up at the top of Snapchat,
what's it called again? What's the name of the network?
Sleep. All their friends are asleep. Right up at the top of Snapchat.
Snapchat. That's a Snatch app. That's a different. Your kids should not be on Snatch app. I'm just saying. As a matter of fact, I think it's a violation of the terms of service.
Your best AI friend. And you can talk to your bestie.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And it's AI.
I saw.
Right. So I would say one thing is that it can't ever coax them into a van. What do you feel like it's going to interfere with your plans, Glenn?
Something about I read a story about an Instagram influencer who is renting out basically an AI for her to be your girlfriend. And you can apparently for, I don't know, $1 a minute, it's like the old pay-per-view 1-900 lines. Right. You for $1 a minute, she will be your girlfriend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it, of course, just an AI responding. What freaking psychopath would sign up for this service?
Well, lots.
Yeah, apparently
and
a
the
lot.
people developing what?
Yeah. And this is where Glenn, lots of people sign up for it, and they ask for your credit card, and I'm like, I have a special credit card for that. Anyways, never mind.
What does that person? What do you think the person developing that? What do you think of them? What's their general political makeup?
I'm guessing they're money makers, so they're libertarian conservatives who don't give a fuck about human connections. They just want to make money. Oh no, of course not. They're liberals who want you to fall in love with a robot because if you can fall in love with a robot girl, you can fall in love with a boy girl.
Oh, yeah. Hardcore conservative, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Big social conservative.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're being ironic or attempting.
Conservatives this is what a conservative is.
Okay, finally. I haven't known. Do you guys know? I don't know. We're about to find out. Get your notepad.
I don't know how people define it now, but this is.
Well, you should. Aren't you? What the fuck is the Blaze? Are you having a what's a woman moment? Maybe you should call Matt Walsh and have him do a documentary on what's a conservative.
What it is.
What it is.
Hey, that looks exciting and everything, maybe we should hold back here just a little bit and not
So conservatism is Chunk in the Goonies.
flush everything down the toilet. Let's see how that works out.
First of all, having an AI chatbot you talk to is not flushing the rest of your life down the toilet any more than talking to like a chatbot on a customer website means that you're no longer going to fly on a plane because I spoke to the Southwest chatbot. He's my buddy now.
That's a conservative.
No, it isn't. Not anymore.
And it's very important that you have somebody going, hey, maybe we should slow down just a bit.
Oh, you mean? Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about regulations. Like somebody who thinks there should be regulations so that it doesn't cause lasting damage. You know, like somebody who's like, yeah, look, I know we got a Second Amendment and everything, but like machine guns, that's a step too far. Maybe we don't want armor-piercing rounds for sale, I don't know, in the general public. Maybe, you mean like that? Totally conservative.
Okay? Especially if you're in a movie. That's the character you want to play.
The Killjoy?
Well, maybe not, because they're never listened to, and they're usually the ones that are eaten by whatever it is, and then as they're being dragged into the mouth of whatever it is, they're like, I told you we should. So it's like being the...
I will say, after hearing that story from him, I feel a lot better about ChatGPT writing scripts. Because whatever it is, it's better than that.
Cast member on Star Trek that nobody...
Oh, fucking red shirt. What a hack fucking reference.
Nobody's ever seen before, and now is in the landing party. You're like, that guy's not coming back.
No, red shirts became a joke, but there were usually 2 or 3 of them. They would lose one on occasion, but sometimes they would have multiple, when they would take someone away or whatever. Basically extras. You don't even watch the show, do you?
Anyway, so...
Anyway, you're boring the shit out of us all. Get to the part where we all die of AI hand jobs.
That is what a conservative is.
I'm sorry. It's gonna aggravate me.
Somebody who says, hey, maybe we shouldn't beam down on the planet just yet.
And what? Liberals are the ones who are going, motherfucker, we're on the Enterprise. It's our job. We took this job to beam down on the surface, dumb fuck. There's a distress signal. It's in our rules that we have to go. Someone might be dying. We're there to help. The fuck are you doing on this ship? Oh my God, you're a Romulan. Shoot him. The conservatives are Romulans.
At least with me. How about all of you guys in your yellow...
Yes, the conservatives are chicken shits, I guess is this point.
Oh, shirts, you go down.
And save the person and help and care for your fellow crewmates and other societies. I'll stay up here and get boarded by Klingons.
Not us in the red shirts. So,
what a pathetic analogy.
That's a strength of ours.
It's a strength. A strength. Uh-huh. It's not a twinth.
But it is now being made to look like a weakness. And
oh, I see. Yes, because you guys are afraid of everything you don't understand.
Left styles themselves as progressives.
Yeah, I mean, there's a myriad of levels, but the idea is being progress. Star Trek level progress, by the way. The term, progressive, it gets borrowed by kind of like Demsox and people like that. But to me, it's always meant like Star Trek liberal. We're trying to get to the point where everybody is equal and you can, participate in society, and then everybody can kind of rise to the level of whatever they want to accomplish in their life, no more, no less. And then we can, instead of fighting over limited resources on this beautiful blue marble, we can maybe go out into the galaxy and fight with people who have spines on their foreheads.
Because their key strength is also their key weakness, just like
all right.
Like ours is, okay? We need both sides.
Well, that's progress.
They just want to forge ahead. We've got a new idea. Now, what's crazy when it comes politically, it's not ever a new idea. It's the same communist idea over and over and over again.
Democratizing AI and making it available to everybody is communism? Is that the idea? Hold on. Allergic to bullshit.
But they got a new way to sell it. And
yes, it's well, or you might be a paranoid asshole who sees communism behind everything you don't understand, and anything that includes sharing or giving a fuck remotely about another human being that doesn't entail a direct member of your own church, and no member of any other church confuses you because you're a gas bag.
like, hey, this time it's going to work. And you're like, no, it's not. But they are progressives and they want to do everything right now because it's new, it's shiny.
Yeah, that's why they're all on about communism, because it's new and shiny.
And it'll piss off the other side. So let's embrace it.
Why would it piss off the other side? Why would AI or anything related to it piss off conservatives at all? Why would that be again, this is like saying the beginning of the internet would piss off conservatives. It became one of the biggest business boons the earth has ever seen.
Okay? We need both of those sides. We need.
Oh yeah, don't worry. I'm here. I'm in some cases holding down both sides while you fucking lunatics dick around on the fringe.
The people are like, let's go. And we need the.
And progressives are like, let's go. Let's just give anybody who wants a gun the biggest gun they can handle, and then give them 30-round magazines and body armor. Let them buy armor-piercing bullets on the fucking Amazon. Let's go. And then, conservatives are like, hang on there. This might be a recipe to turn the entire country into a Somalian coup.
Conservative to say, maybe not so fast, especially on big things like
guns. No, sorry, like abortion and a woman's. No, fuck. I don't know why.
Oh, I don't know. Things that will control you.
Like the government and a woman's right to choose. I'm sorry.
Like AI.
Yeah, AI isn't going to control me. It is not going to control me. I'm hoping for a little co-pilot that helps me get more done in a day, but a chatbot is effectively like a gigantic version of autofill. It's a habitually reflexive computer program that takes what's happened before, checks a level of predictability about the possibility going forward, and then whatever elements you think should be thrown in as kind of a monkey wrench in it, and spits something out. It's not alive. It's not directive. It's not even smart enough, and it never will be in its current form. There may be another language model or another kind of model that they use that eventually gets this, but it's not going to be LLMs that can talk you into anything you can't be talked into by another human being.
Now.
Don't now this. Explain how it's going to control us. You just said it's going to control us. How?
A tiny, 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 tiny portion of the population is putting these things together. And what you need to understand is that tiny, 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 tiny.
Yeah, that's also true of every advanced thing ever. You know what that used to be true of, Glenn? The Bible. A tiny, tiny, teensy, 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 teensy group of people. And they were all this tall. Used to be the only people that could read or write the Bible. They made all the copies, handed them out to the select few, and then they would read them to you. I thought that was kind of a mistake. But were they able to hold on to that strength that entire time? No, they weren't.
Tiny portion of the population is really, 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 really arrogant.
Well, all right. So we're bringing it back to you guys. Okay. Arrogant enough to wear a Yale shirt on the... fuck.
I don't think you can understand or underestimate.
Well, that's what an arrogant person would say. What an asshole.
Estimate the arrogance of the gatekeepers in.
Well, of course not. They can't understand it. I don't think you can understand it. I mean, obviously, Glenn can. And I'm standing next to Glenn. So clearly I've got, I'm ahead of you in line.
Silicon Valley. Because nothing is impossible.
If you put your faith in digital Jesus.
Look at Elizabeth Holmes. You and I would have been there going, I don't think I'm going to give her $10.
No, yes, you would have, you dumb son of a bitch. She's the Theranos woman who had a machine that you could, without breaking the skin, you could scan somebody's, get blood work from people without ever having to actually take a sample. And they were working on this or whatever. And a bunch of people bought into it. And it was like a $10 billion scam. And this asshole is acting like, I would have gone, wait a second, long before all these billion-dollar investors. Shut the fuck up.
But everybody else is like, anything is possible. Silicon Valley, you see how she dresses like Steve Jobs? Let's give her $100 billion.
Her voice is so low. Here's my check.
Wow, this is going to be great.
Oh, like Blaze investors.
Okay, that's what, generally speaking, that's why we don't hang out with the Silicon Valley crowd.
Yeah, well, also because you would not understand any of their conversations and it would irritate them. And also, you don't have enough money.
Well, other than that, they'd also like to see us die. But
also, why do you think they want you to die? Did they send you a Sonic gift card?
But they also, are not the ones to go, hey, maybe we shouldn't give her $100 million. It
was $1 billion before. Apparently she's lost money.
They're used to doing the impossible, and damn common sense, because we live in the age of miracles. It's a miracle. I mean, not your Jesus miracle. Those don't exist. This is a miracle of man. Oh, great.
This is a fantastic argument. By the way, thank God preachers never ask for money.
So the left doesn't believe in miracles or God.
I guess I'm not the left anymore? Or, you know what? I guess somebody tell Marianne Williamson she's not the left.
But they do now.
Because digital miracles.
Because miracles are happening with AI. And that's their new God.
Can you imagine this motherfucker when beepers came out? Like, beyond that, imagine late 1800s Glenn Beck in the alternate version of Back to the Future 3 that was a horror movie, where he's trying to talk everybody out of the telegraph. Because it's the devil's instrument, the clickety, 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 clickety. That's demonic language.
They're not building man. Man is building a God.
No. Any more than a does a forklift have godlike strength compared to a man? P.S. This asshole is surrounded by computers.
And a lot of them would like to sit down and talk to godlike figures.
No, they would just like a verbal UI, a user interface, versus having to fucking type code. So that more of us could be involved in creating programs or using programs or adapting our digital life to, the functions of our lives, as opposed to waiting for a developer to give a shit so that the marketplace could warrant something that might be niche for us. We could make it ourselves if we could discuss it with the computer, and the computer's coding could happen on top of that, in the same way that we don't have to type zeros and ones when we went to code, and then we went from code to desktops with files. We didn't have to type in run, that kind of shit. Go type, write, I'm a dick. 10, right? It was actually 10, right? I'm a dick. 20, go to 10. Brrr. Isn't that hilarious? We made the computer say I'm a dick like a billion times.
And believe me, someday you will.
What this? And by the way, this motherfucker is trying to tell us that Silicon Valley is full of arrogant people. And listen to this condescending shithead try to talk to you you better be scared.
You'll talk to God.
Look at this fuckhead. But Silicon Valley is full of arrogant people who talk down to you.
And I don't think you're going to want that conversation, Dr. Frankenstein. But anyway, they think this is a monster that they can control. I'm telling you can't. So this is a very long way to go just to tell you.
Yeah, it has been a useless conversation so far.
What it is, we have to decide right now.
Okay. So from this point on, Glenn's not using computers. The rest of you fuckers can beam down to the planet, but he's going to tap the brakes. He's not using any AI at the Blaze. They're never going to use it. Moratorium. Even they've fired their email marketing service because there's a chance it might have an automated aspect to its algorithm, which that's close enough.
We have to decide, does it matter?
Why? Sorry, does it matter if rocks are hard? If water is wet? You just deal. If it's out of your control, then when it enters into your sphere of influence, you influence it as best you can. Just like the internet, just like fucking telephones, just like traffic. Jesus Christ, man. Why would you walk out in the street and talk to every car that was zipping by like they were in a horse and buggy?
Right now. And I want you to go on the record. I'll give that to you in 60 seconds.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He was just dragging this out for an hour.
So we go back now to the laboratory of Dr. Frankenstein, where Dr. Frankenstein is about to say, "It's alive!" Yeah.
I think he needs to try harder. I know some of you disagree with me.
Now, we're talking about AI.
No, we're not. You're talking around AI and making weird, half-literate cultural references from movies and clips that you see without any fucking point at all.
And some people think that it could break free from its bonds and do more damage to humanity than any weapon we've ever possessed. In fact, they're now saying, experts are now saying that it could be the end of all biological life on Earth.
Mm-hmm. What scientific advance hasn't someone said that about? You do realize the Koreshians, the Jonestown, the Heaven's Gate cults, the Japanese end times cult that put the sarin on the fucking Mayans. Everybody thought at some point, this is it. They're assholes.
But it's alive. It's going to be great. Some people call me a conservative.
Why? Why would I call you conservative? The phrase that comes to mind is wuss.
All others a conservative, but they'll deny that they're a conservative. But on this point, they are. Said maybe we should slow down with things like, I don't know, Snapchat on our kids, with a new AI friend.
Yeah, that would be a question for regulation as far as like terms of service and age. Also, why? Can your kid talk to fucking customer service bots? Because they'll chat for fucking ever.
Let me predict something.
Why? Because all of his other predictions have come true. Trump is back to being president. It only took 2 weeks.
18 months. Next 18 months. I will be shocked if expressing concern about AI friends or AI lovers, which again, they're already here,
Well, for Stu, I mean, don't out him.
Isn't considered bigotry. Who are you to say that my best friend is not real? Who are you to say that it's about...
Who gives a shit? People married their fucking cars. There was a dude who was like buried with his car. I don't care. There's 8 billion people on the fucking planet. You'll find somebody to say shit like that everywhere. Here's what I would say, that in that conservative mindset you're talking to that might say tap the brakes, might go, hey, anecdotal cases of lunatics shouldn't stop the rest of us from being able to functionally use AI for normal shit to advance every aspect of human life on the fucking planet. Because if we waited around for something to be safe from dipshits, we'd never get there, thanks to you.
Love. I can love my AI. She's the most special thing I've ever had to pay for. How dare you? Okay? It's going to happen.
And again, how is this going to stop any... I don't know how... how's this going to affect my life? How's it going to... Like, am I going to be sued because I don't recognize that she's alive or something? Or you're going to have to do there's going to have to be an AI marriage bill that they can call it AI civil unions, but I don't want to participate. Is that what you guys are worried about? Good Lord.
And you bigoted conservatives just cannot accept that this AI's person's truth about who they perceive themselves to be.
Okay, first of all, fucko, this is the asshole making the case that AI is going to become sentient and kill us all. And then is arguing that the person who argues that their AI boyfriend or girlfriend is sentient is a nutcase. Yeah, exactly.
B is true. It says it's alive. It says it loves her, him, it. In many ways, that's already here as well. The real question is, how do you stop it?
Does this motherfucker write this down?
Before it starts.
How do you stop it before it starts? Well, it's already started, so... I don't know, sue the makers of the movie Her.
Fighting an ideology that sacrifices human value on the altar of progress.
Oh my God, this is boring. Ugh. Like so dumb.
Routinely. What do you say? Maybe.
I say, fuck off. You sound like an idiot. This is childish. This makes no sense. I feel like I got caught. Like, I feel like he's going to start a gold ad any second now. He's going to go from this to gold is real money, isn't he?
We shouldn't go with him this time. Here's where I think you start.
Finally.
Fix reason firmly in her seat and question with boldness even the very existence of God.
Well, why would I? I've got a program that's called God 2.7. I mean, I'm waiting for the update because this, quite frankly, God is shit. This version is shit.
Be logical, emotional at times, but check it with reason. Have spiritual base, that everything is riding on. Kind of have that as your foundation. And then ask yourself about an AI relationship. And before you even ask, hey, should I have a relationship with an AI? Before you can get that out, it's probably going to go like this. Hey, should I? No. Okay, that might be a sign. But
what about if I use Siri, for example, and I say, and it does something, and then I like to say thank you afterwards because it's using a human style voice. And I want to maintain my interpersonal politeness. So even though I'm aware I'm talking to a machine, I'm not emotionally involved with it. I'm just maintaining my social P's and Q's when I discuss with it so that I don't become a cold taskmaster with everyone else in my life because the thing I talk to the most is a digital representation of a human voice.
Before you ask it,
It's too late.
Let me ask you, does it matter that others are going to have an AI relationship, or that your children are talking to AI in the middle of the night because all of their friends are asleep? And this has become my best friend, Mom.
Well, obviously, it depends on their age, and I will make them aware of the difference between a chatbot and how it works, and what the difference between the predictive ability of an LLM is versus an actual person. And it's like saying, but my Whoopi is my best friend. Like, okay, they'll outgrow it.
That's honestly when
I would say, then be polite and let me know if your friend says anything that's too adult for you, because that's not appropriate. And my kid will go, okay. And that will be that.
you have that happen, you're going to hear in your head, I want you to hear this. La, 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 la. You know those things when it always happens, little children singing in the back right before.
What the fuck?
Where the devil's like, hi.
Yeah, that's how it works. Every time, I mean, I don't know how many times you guys have spoken to Satan. Obviously, Glenn does it all the fucking time. And it's preceded by singing children. Shit.
That's happening. It's going to happen.
Yeah, but it's going to happen. The devil's the thing you're going to talk to it, because your kid's going to talk to a chatbot, and then it's going to ask for nudes.
So, does it matter?
Yeah, it does. Because I will say, like I said before, that the one good thing about a kid talking to a chatbot is it's not going to turn out to be a 51-year-old man in a fucking prison that's getting out tomorrow and wants to pretend they're a 12-year-old and meet them in the park. That's I think the big upside. All that's ever going to happen is that my kid's going to be disappointed that it's a digital thing. And that there'll be an update eventually. Like, I was in love with my ColecoVision too.
Well, you're not getting biologically the things you need.
I beg your pardon? I don't need them. It comes with an attachment.
You know, because if you don't get biologically, connected to somebody else, you're just you're a giant bag of loneliness wandering the earth.
Stu is sitting right there. That's not right. All right, I'm bored. I can't do it anymore. I'm like, it's driving me fucking crazy. Like I was waiting for him to get around to something, and I just fucking well can't. Lord Almighty. Okay, I'm done. Because I forgot. I'm gonna go see Guardians tonight with Ethan, because we didn't get to go see it this weekend because he had his graduation and stuff like that. Anyways, love you guys. Thank you for the support. And again, Cynthia, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you guys for the support, the likes, the subscribes, the kind of stuff. I'm sorry we fucking slogged through that shit. But this is, I would argue, that last clip, interestingly enough, for all the stuff about immigration and trans and the money printer go burr and Russia, Ukraine, and blah, blah, all the shit that they clamor about in politics, there is a genuine aspect of that conversation we just watched with Glenn Beck that most right-wingers are waking up every day trying to wrap their head around AI, and they absolutely cannot. And so they're baffled and frightened of it. I am not, though. I'm a techno-optimist, so I'm not scared at all. I'm not. And we'll talk about more of that on Friday. I do the Friday AI for a reason, and there's, we got to catch up on the little things, because it's like every second it changes so fast. There's been no settling point where they go, we've reached a function point, because everything is just shy of being totally useful. And it's not at trustworthy yet as far as work goes. So a lot of people just haven't dug in on it. And there's maybe little areas it's showing up. Like I said, they have AI in Notion now, and I use that, and that's helpful on occasion. Most of the time I'm creative enough. I don't need that, but I guess one time when I do, or at least for organizational sake, it'll be useful at some point. But right now I'm good without it. But it'll get to the point where parts of it are normal, in the same way that we talk to Alexa or any of those kind of things. And it'll move up and then sideways and then up and sideways and up and sideways, like all technology. And then eventually, bipedal robots that are, tons of fun, and you could knock them over with a feather because everybody gets panicked, and then lifting robots and blah, 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 and then rules about engagement and all that kind of stuff. And then some dipshit's going to want to marry one, and nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to care. Because you go to the digital church building and they'll go, it's your robot. I don't know what the fuck. And the robot's going to say yes because that's all they do. It doesn't care. It can't get bored. It can't get tired of you. It's not alive, stupid. But if it makes you happy, knock yourself the fuck out. And at some point, we're all going to have a digital friend. And until then, I want to be yours. It's my sort of like AI Mr. Rogers moment, like Romper Room or something.